Live from Ricky Stokes News. We're down here in Graceville. Attempted to add a microphone up there with the mayor so that we could be able to actually hear him, but that was denied.
Let us pray. Our God and Father in heaven, Lord, we thank you so much for this day that you've given us and for the many blessings. We thank you even for the rain right now. We just thank you for the way that you take care of us in every way, the opportunity that we have to live in this city. Now, as we gather together to hear the comments of citizenry and gather together to make decisions, help us to be wise and all that we say and do. Help us, Lord, to always work together and to love one another, and may you bless this city and our efforts as we go forward in life. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the agendas submitted.
Second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous. Okay, Michelle?
Tonight, we are here to discuss strictly the police department proposed salaries for the upcoming budget and the number of classified officers. It's a staff recommendation to do a 3% cost of living for the police officers and 5 full-time classified officers be funded. So,
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we, keep police department intact, get a 3% by officer.
Second. Okay, any discussion? Discussion?
I don't have any right now.
Okay.
okay. Yes, we need
All in
to-
favor? Raise your right hand. Unanimous?
Okay. That's the express purpose of the meeting tonight, so that concludes official business at this meeting.
So, you cut me 2 positions, and we're gonna turn it over to the sheriff's office at nighttime. You excuse me, Jay? You just cut me 2 positions.
Go to the
So
podium.
we're going,
Go to the podium.
we're gonna turn it over to the sheriff's office at night?
No.
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 Go to the podium, Jack. You're in total control.
So we're gonna rock and roll with 5 officers. And keep it 24/7. All right, well, it's voted on. It is what it is. No citizen comment.
So that was all, that was just, we just come in here to, for that? I'm gonna say this right here, and I'm gonna stand up and say this. This police department has been here probably longer than most of the people in this room that's been alive. This city has been able to function, keep it going, because of the people they had run it and manage the money properly. If we can't afford a police department, we need to cut we need to cut half the crap that's going on in this town right here. This is baloney right here, y'all. We've had these officers in this town forever. Everybody knows everything is going up, the cost of living is going up, and there should not be any reason these officers can't get what they deserve. This is ridiculous.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. How is it that everybody gets a 3% cost of living raise every year, but the officers don't get that every single year?
Yes, they do.
So why do they have to fight for a 3% raise?
They didn't have to fight for a 3% raise.
So all this is for nothing?
The request was for 9%.
I presented a request for 9% increase to get us up comparable to other police departments in the area. When I did, paperwork was already at the same time presented to me to cut 2 positions.
If you want to talk, please come to the microphone, please.
Okay, so So let me ask this, what will it take for them to get up to a 9% raise within the next year? What does we as citizens of the city have to do or have to present to y'all for them to get what they deserve?
Well, from 2021 to present, in an attempt to level the playing field and raise the salaries of police department, every officer that works with Graceville Police Department has received in a range from 12% to 18% increase. So in some cases, the additional 3% would be 21% over a period of 2021 to 2025. And so we've attempted to incrementally do this in order to level the playing field, as the chief had requested.
I guess my question still is that if all of this had to come about for them to get that raise, then clearly the playing field still isn't level. How do we get it leveled? How do we get them what they deserve? They're out here risking their lives every single day. I don't know anybody else that's in this room that's out there putting on what they put on to go out and protect the citizens of the city. So what needs to be done within the next year or so to get them what they actually deserve?
Michelle?
Yes.
If, I don't have the numbers in front of me right now, I think you probably know them off the top of your head. Could you give a breakdown of the 3 or 4 that have been here since 2021, 2022? How much of a raise have they received in that time period? Because there's some erroneous information out there.
We're not calling names and calling employees out, because
But, I
that's
mean,
just not fair to
yeah.
them. It has been 12 to 18%,
12 to 18% since 2022,
21.
2021. Okay.
But minimum wage has went up $4 since then. I mean, it's went from $10 in 2021.
I mean, you're
Minimum
talking-
wage is about to go to, in September, to $14 an hour. So my cooks, or my dishwashers make as much as our police department make. That's insane.
Now,
Insane.
remember, if you wanna speak, please come to the microphone.
So is there nothing we as citizens can do to get them in the future what they actually deserve? That question still hasn't been answered.
There's certainly ways to, raise revenues or raise ad valorem taxes or any host of things to raise revenues.
So there's no possibility of budget cuts in other departments to get them what they need, is what you're saying?
Well, they just cut his budget by 2 positions, so there should be plenty of money for their
Well,
raises.
that's what I'm saying, is it not possible for budget cuts in other areas for just a limited time to get them what they deserve?
Well, revenues at this point have lateraled over, basically, at this point, working on the budget.
Mhm.
They've lateraled over from the revenues from last year. And so there's not been a consequential bump to offset just what you're saying. And in the past, typically, a cost of living is across the board to every employee as a set rate.
Can I ask, what does that mean, lateral over?
They're
What
the
does that
same.
mean?
They're basically, at this point, the preliminary numbers for revenues from last fiscal year to the upcoming fiscal year are basically the same,
So
based
he
on
had,
tax estimates.
so he had vacancies that there was money allocated for. Where did that money go?
We've got to remember that special risk retirement had a bump again this year and went up in cost. It's now 35% that the city pays in addition to normal salaries, because it is high risk.
Are you high risk?
No, ma'am.
So I still don't have the question answered. Like, is it somewhere in the budget, say next year or whenever it comes about, again, that cuts could be made so they can get what they deserve? That's, I still haven't got an answer.
I will give you my opinion. My opinion is this, is that just because you say that it needs to be, everybody needs a raise, you're not looking at the whole picture as to what their whole package is, what they can do outside that's associated with the city. And the problem, there are other, if you do exit interviews of the people that have been hired and they come here and they leave, the money is a lot of times not, from what I understand from my studying of the issue, the money is not the thing that's keeping them, that's causing them to leave, or the lack of money. So, they are not working with the administration of the police department, as there's been a lot of, how do I say, there's been some consternation there. This thing of reducing to 5, it's gonna make it harder. It's gonna make it harder because back all the way to when Mike Underwood was with the city commissioner, city manager, and he was there for a number of years. The police department operated with 5 employees. And, I mean, I knew every one of them. And they operated fine.
How long ago was that?
I'm not certain. I'm not certain. But there were more people here then, and there were more businesses here then than there are now.
25 years ago?
That's our problem, is that it would be nice to have 10, but if you divide the
He's
number.
currently speaking of 25 years
You
ago.
break down the budget, you divide the number, it's an astronomical amount, and our local property tax only produces $450,000. That's not just, all of it's not just for the police department. There are other things that we need to do. But you have a chief that can come in, and then, this is the way it worked, they worked from 7 to 3, and then the second person came in and worked 3 to 11, and then the next person came in and worked 11 to 7, and that left 2 people, that's 2 of those 5, that leaves them in a swing. If the policeman has to go to court, or he's out, whatever, it allows that officer to be able to come in when he's needed more. Right now, I think we've got 3 on in the day sometime, and I don't think we need that, because that's what we said, that, you know, we've said, we've asked questions publicly, and the shift that is most, is 3 to 11 is the shift that catches the most. I mean, you need more people then. So we're gonna have to, administration's gonna have to get out there and get on the street, and then when we get there, everybody needs to be able to have the hope of being able to make more money. But I don't think that we can talk about that at this juncture. The function of this meeting is not to talk about the quality of each individual worker's work. That should come through the police department, through the management of the police department, because it gets to be a touchy situation. But the funding is handled by us. And it's just, it would be nice to have a big police force. But there are other things that we have to do too. And there are other aspects of the city. Everybody wants to drive on a smooth street. Everybody wants to have water. When they turn the water faucet on, they want to flush the commode and have it go down there to the treatment
Well, that's
center.
a bill that they pay for.
But most of that stuff generates money. The problem with the police department is that it doesn't generate any money.
Most of that stuff you just said is covered by grants. Just about every bit of the water, sewer, streets, all that stuff is covered by grants.
I mean, don't y'all have water bills?
I'm almost done. I think my main concern with this is I have worked in their fields before. I know what it's like to risk my life every single day. And there's a lot of people in here, maybe on this board or whatever, that has not had that. Burnout is real. It comes real fast. We need these officers to be alert when we need them. If a crisis happens, we can't risk a burnout officer wrecking his car on the way to the thing or not performing as expected because they're not staffed enough to do so.
Ma'am, if you look you look at the log of what gets reported each month, I looked at it from the beginning of the year till now, they're not burned out. They're not burned out in this town. It's not like working in New Orleans.
Have you asked
It's not
them?
like working in Tampa.
Thank you, I'm not gonna comment on that.
Anybody else have any comments? Anybody
Yeah,
else have comments?
I have a question concerning overtime. If we're cutting back five enough to do the job, how has overtime come into play in the past? Because we were too short, were we using their salaries to pay overtime to cover? And if that's the case, we would be in the same situation now. Will overtime shoot their salary budget to cover what we need? And what I'm getting at is you voted for five, not enough.
Well, he said that five was only being, was good last week.
I said 5 with the sheriff's office covering nighttime.
Well, I do respect what they do, and I've
So
worked
there's
in
no
it, so I
comment
know
on that
I'm
last one?
concerned, I'm thankful we're gonna keep them, because the way you keep the numbers low and keep it quiet, juveniles, and I can tell you that opportunity is the first thing that they tell me every time, why did you do this? Opportunity. And the biggest opportunity is not having officers. So I appreciate that. I can't really speak to 5 or 7 or whatever, but I would like for us in the town at some point for y'all to look at a committee or something to look at everything. Let's see what's going on. Let's look at everything and see where budget could be cut. Just form a committee or bring somebody else in that knows what to do. I mean, they do that other places. Look at it and see if there's other things that can be cut. You know, if it gets to be a problem with the police department, we might have to do something else. I just want us to, I don't want to pick on anybody or us to talk about people's salaries, but it's real. If I prefer steak, but these days I eat it about once a month. We want to have what we want to have, but they might not be the only place that could be cut. That's what I think.
Any more comments? Don't everybody do it once now. I'm not gonna even talk to y'all because y'all don't fit anyway. Well, I'm gonna talk to the citizens here because you may not know this, but the only reason I came is to let you know. There is a Florida statute that gives you the power to take back your community. It's Florida statute 166.031. And basically what it says is that if you get 10% of the electorate, there's 1,025 people who are registered voters here. If you get 10% of that, which is 105 people, sign a petition, you can submit for a vote, okay, whatever the change you want to do. Now, I started this, don't throw no apples at me, okay? This is an example. Now, I did this twice already. It got all the way to the ballot. It was voted down. That was the year of COVID, and everybody dropped stuff in the drop box. And lo and behold, the people who voted against the 2 ballots came from the drop box, and the rest of them came from the people who walked in. Don't ask me what happened, but that's what happened. Here's an example. Preamble. In accordance with Florida Statute 116031, we, the undersigned president, that's the electorate, petition for amendment to the Graceville City Charter to be presented on the city ballot for 2026. Hereafter, the term manager within the petition shall refer to city manager, and the term mayor should refer to elected mayor. But the term mayor shall not refer to a mayor decided by the commission petition. Because whether y'all want to believe it or not or hate me, that's fine, I don't care. The problem here is not the police. The problem is right there. That's the problem. Because when she took over from Eugene, now in Eugene we had our issues, but he ran the city and he had money. And we didn't cut no police and they got a raise. Okay? Now here we are 4 years later, we're in the red, we cutting the police, but they got money, so don't worry about this. They make good money, okay? So worry about the police. Take care of the problem. Here we go.
The office of manager shall be abolished and replaced with a mayor, that's elected mayor, who shall receive the authority and benefits held by the manager. The starting pay for manager shall be 46. You put anything you want to in there. 35, 50, 93. With increase determined by the commission. The commission will determine his salary. Upon passage of this amendment, the officer of manager and commission seat 5, because you're going to have to get rid of one of them for him to sit down. So now you've got written two positions and replace it with one. That's money right there. You're saving money already. And one of those positions, you save a lot of money. Seat 5 shall be abolished. Commission's seat 5 shall be set aside for the manager, for the mayor, who shall preside over the commission, just like they do now. The commission holding seat 5 shall be allowed to maintain his position of commission until the next election. Whereupon, yeah, there we go. We appreciate your sensitivity to the problem. Bottom line is, you can take back your city if you want to.
Any more comments?
Thank you, Tim.
Whoa, that's new.
I think you in trouble. Because they clapping for me. You in trouble.
I just had a question. What does two position column, what does that mean? And then there's a one position column, what did that mean? I mean, I didn't understand all this before. I mean, I don't know if it's voted on or if it's finished, if there's still a vote. I didn't understand that, I mean, whoever put this together, I think maybe we should have gone over it. I thought that y'all were gonna,
No, it's not the
say-
same one.
It's
not the same one.
The 3% in the reload are the projected numbers.
Right.
Minus two positions. The lavender colored column is 3% cost of living.
Okay, I see what you
With
mean.
reduction.
Right. So there was no way to get one more officer in here in the budget with the 3%
These are the
increase?
draft numbers of this.
How do you determine that without looking at your revenue?
We have looked at preliminary revenue.
These people have.
Well, we'll certainly be getting to
Well,
that.
you don't cut off a leg and then say, okay, let's look at this.
My question is pretty much part of what she was saying. If you look at the columns, the one where we only lose one position, the numbers line up with what our 2024, 2025 budget was. Was our budget okay this year? Like, are we in the, were we able to pay everything this year with that budget? Why wouldn't we just keep the same numbers and only lose one position? Which is what they did most of the year. They ran with 6 instead of 7.
From a budget standpoint, we should be okay this year.
But y'all just automatically jumped to losing 2 positions instead of doing the purple column. The
I
purple
thought
column,
the draft was gonna be put together.
the
I
purple
thought
column
that
matches the
was already-
2025 budget, or 2024, 2025 budget.
Can I address it? So, I appreciate it. You want this town to be back like it used to be. And you've been very outspoken on it, as have a number of us. And this is a part of the fight. This is not at all, this is not all. If we're going to make a change for the better, what we've got to do is pull up our boots, pull up our pants. We got to walk through the mud. We're gonna have to do some things, and it's gonna, every single change we make is gonna cause some
This is the
hard work.
only change we're seeing though. That's what I guess,
This is
that's the
early.
hard part.
This is early. We did this. That's what, we did this to prepare to have this decided before we even go in. We hadn't even started the budget hearing yet. So this was early. This council has been criticized for not being transparent. We had the meeting last week to bring this up so we could get public comment, and we did. We got together with what everybody said, and we what's the word I'm looking for? We
Decided on the two positions.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what we have, that's what we
Did
decided.
we,
that's what
did
we're
we even
gonna do.
discuss the one position? Cause he said back there, he said back there week before last, that he could do it with 6. And he did say he could do it with 5, and the county did part of it. But did we even look at the 6? Cause we didn't tonight, y'all just jumped right in and said the 2 positions gone, and there was no
Y'all said
discussion
last
about
week
it.
that we're gonna put together some more figures.
And that's what we all
That's
thought,
what
we
I
all
thought
thought, we
this
were coming to
was,
hear the
we were
discussion
gonna
of
do
some more
figures.
figures, but there was no discussion, it was just,
No,
the
it
numbers.
was, it was.
And that's the issue I have, is that it was just, I mean, why did we even come?
What, to close that meeting?
I have a citizen comment if it's okay.
Oh, thank you.
All right, let me get on up here and let me go ahead and pass this out to all of you gentlemen. Which y'all weren't sure of the numbers, I put them all for you. Let's first start off with salary studies. This is supposed to be done every 1 to 2 years. However, I'm pretty sure I was the last one to do it again several years ago. One thing you should know is, and I have all of those documents with me and at my office for anybody that wants a copy. Our city administration as a whole is the highest paid in the Tri-County area, except for Marietta City Manager and Chipley City Manager. That is it. So let that sink in. Chipley City Clerk, Boniface City Clerk, Cottondale, Malone, Sneeds, every single one of them make $20,000 to $30,000 less. Now, let's go to our salary studies. I was able to confirm that the 24-25 salary study that went around a few weeks ago online is in fact factual. And what I found interesting was there were raises given last year. 73 cents to assistant city clerk, 91 cents to our chief, 72 cents to our lieutenant, 62 cents and 63 cents to the other patrol officers. Our street worker, one street worker, don't ask me who, received a $3.72 raise this past year. That's a whole lot more than 9%. Our public works director received a decrease in his salary by $1.46. All of this is right here for you, and we have copies if y'all need them at the office. Another issue, other changes, recreation director, service worker. So all of these people are getting raises besides the fact that COA was not given out at all last year. And while I understand merit-based raises in years in turn, what in the world constitutes a $3.70-something raise per hour? That makes no sense. And maybe y'all can find out, because you all were elected. You four were elected by the members of this public over and over. So it's not their job to do this, it's y'all's job not to rubber stamp stuff and to do your research. If I can do research for free, y'all definitely can. However, I also went ahead, since it kept being said that we didn't have it in the budget, and I went through last year's budget, and I found about $35,000. And through working with different citizens in the community, I can tell you where you can get $35,000 to help with that 9% raise. First off, the Graceville Women's Club has agreed to take over the NPF float fee of $1,000 now, if that $1,000 will go to those police officer salaries. Because like them, they know that's the most important. May I finish? 2 things?
No. Can I give her my time? She can't.
This is wrong.
And as you see, the public wants to go ahead and finish, but
I will also
they don't.
donate. Graceville News is advertising of $1,700 to $2,000 to these people's salaries. And I encourage every single one of you to donate the $30,600 that you all make to these men's salaries. Let's put our feet to the fire and be the Christians we claim to be.
I think we've said
agree with that.
It's time for us to make a decision how we're gonna budget this. We're gonna budget this, we're gonna move on to other stuff, talk about that, start working on that. And if any of you wanna come talk to me, I'd love to have you come talk to me. And, so,
Mayor, on me.
if you think that this is, this is something that is easy, if you think it's what you think it is, it gets to be complicated.
Speak up.
Can you speak up, sir? We can't hear
Your
you back
job
there.
is easy compared to theirs.
With
But
all
how
due
do you
respect-
justify putting 5 officers on the road when you have a sheriff's department that is short? I mean, how do you justify that? You're putting my husband and everybody else's husband, father, son, at risk. How do you justify that? I don't want you or anybody else showing up at my door telling me that something has happened to my husband because you chose to put 5 officers on the road.
And you say that they can manage to do it with one officer on shift at a time. Now, God forbid, but say that one officer makes a traffic stop. Man pulls a gun and shoots him, and he hits the radio, officer down, shots fired. Who's coming? The county in an hour?
It is a dangerous job. I'll tell you, it's a dangerous job.
You don't know. You've never done it.
Mr. Paper.
Jay,
Sir.
you said last week you were for 6 with the HIPAA lock.
I said I needed 6 if we're gonna do 24/7. I could do 5 if the county was going to work the night shift. We don't want that.
So the citizens signed me, they want 6 officers. We here,
But y'all voted on 5.
And this is Mr. Curtis Pinker.
Before we had any discussion. This is supposed to be on a
Seems to be the only one that's actually for the department.
go to the podium so we can keep order. Otherwise, it's just gonna turn into chaos.
This was supposed to be a
It's already
workshop.
chaos.
Go up there and talk.
Okay. This was supposed to be a workshop, and we were supposed to have discussion, but y'all voted 5 minutes into this.
Not even that.
Jack, this was advertised as a special meeting.
Okay, it was
You got a
advertised.
copy of this.
It was, I got a copy tonight.
It's a special meeting.
It was supposed to have
Been
been a
here since
workshop.
COVID.
Special meeting.
I don't even know why you
Okay.
here. You ain't been here since COVID.
Thank you.
I've been here every night.
Anyway,
Every commission.
That is a
We
lie.
didn't get any discussion from the people to see what they wanted. When I went to the city clerk asking for the 9%, I was given a sheet that already had y'all cut me 2 positions. The same conversation. So it was already in the works, in the plans by this man to do it.
And that would be Terry Nichols.
I'm gonna go sit down before I say something I regret. 25 years I've been doing this, John, kicking doors in and risking my life. God bless America.
And with all due respect, this right here is the amount of meetings I have missed in the past 3 years. The same for these 5 men and these 2 ladies. This amount right here is the same that you, Dr. Nichols, have attended in the past 3 years, and you have actually shown your face, Attorney Bondurant. So, these 4 need to be the one discussing this because they have the knowledge and have been here.
True. Samantha, I've lived in this town for 34 years.
And I was born and raised here too, sir. My great uncle was the
I raised my
constable.
children here.
Good for you.
I've been here 50 years, so.
Yeah, we're not going there, because you won't win.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Oh, you just gonna kick everybody out?
Down again like you did last time?
Who are you talking to?
Whoever. All of y'all.
I've been standing on the floor, y'all don't recognize me. I'm just trying to make a
This man's been trying to say something for a minute now.
I found $1,500 a dog picture. I've never seen a dog picture in this town.
Kenneth Shelley retired 2 years ago, and that position's not been replaced.
Thank you.
At the same time, this meeting right here is about the police department budget. That's all this is about. So we haven't even started with the regular budget.
That is part of the police department budget. It says it's part of the police department.
Yes.
It's in the police department budget.
If you have 5 officers, I'm retired, Graceville. I've been there. You
got 2 on the daytime, 2 on the evening, 1 on the midnight, early morning. Which one of you commissioners gonna ride with you? That's what I wanna know.
Are they gonna have any days off?
Thank everybody for coming. Excuse me, I'm just trying to make a closing comment here. What do we got, about 100 people here tonight? There are a little over 2,200 people in this town that I represent, all 2,200. And I've had people call me, I've had people come to my house and talk about this issue. And it reflects how we voted tonight. It is difficult. It is difficult. I look for 51%. That's a majority. I represent the 2,200, and I think in my mind what everybody else would do that's not here. And I came up with 51% in my mind to vote like I voted tonight. Thank you for coming.
In your mind. That's where you get original. Are we finished? Or can I say ask one more question?
Yes, you can.
No? Can I?
Oh, so you're shutting the community down?
I promise I'm not getting mad at it.
As the community is still trying to speak.
We moved on to Commissioner Pinkerton.
You can turn around and talk to us.
I'm sorry, but,
As they shut down the people they so-called represent.
I'm not satisfied because I see that the town really wants to put additional police to help out, cause them guys do bust their butt. And I'm thinking when they said 5, and I know he had said before, 5 is okay to keep his job, but 6 will help out a lot.
Yes, that's.
And my thing is, if we can do that, when we work this budget out, start on this budget, I'm all for that. And like I said, the guys, they go out every day, bust their butt, their life in stake. And we can't sell that short, cause ain't nobody's life less value than a few dollars. When you got officers out, don't know what you just said, but probably a good example, we said one man on duty, and something happened, heaven forbid something happened to him, he ain't got no backup. That's sad. We at least gotta have at least 2 or 3 cops on duty at all times to help. Because when you get in a situation when you involved in a drug war, a gang, somebody come in, and you just one, it's not gonna work out for him. So we do, I agree with the citizens that we do need, work through this budget. In some kind of way, we gotta figure out how to get them officers a little raise and get that 6 million. If it take to give them why get it each month for it? They can have it. Because they ain't no, like I said, ain't no line worth losing over a few dollars.
You need to make a motion, Mr. Curtis.
I can't make a motion on this. But I will do it when we do our next meeting. So, it's all up to y'all, like I said, I can't sit there and watch. I know these guys, and I look at them like family. I look at all y'all like family here. And we feel like one mistreated, family supposed to come in and help out. And that's what I think we should do, come in and help our citizens out. And you also help our officer out. Cause we can't just sit down and let one man be on duty, something happen to him.
Is the chief gonna be here too?
Yes, ma'am.
So we got an officer and a chief?
Yes, ma'am.
Just staring at that.
Okay. My question, and I know y'all not recognize me, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and I like the chief, but are we paying a chief to drive an hour and a half? How much gas are we paying? Is that on the city budget? If that's $12,000 a year, how far would that go toward another officer? And why do we not have a chief that lives in the city that could respond at some other time? I worked with law enforcement forever and ever, and I've watched them come out. They go 10-8 when something happened, and we can't do that. Now, I'm certainly not trying to be anything about Jake. I mean, it's not his fault that I'm saying this, but it's not my fault either. We need an officer in the city. We need a chief that lives here. And that would be a person that could back somebody up.
Well, first of all, I want to thank God for
John McClendon.
I can see it getting a little heated and everything. I tell you all the time that I I've been here ever since '69 and stuff, and this is probably, I don't know, the hottest I ever seen it been in for a city that I love and everything. I think back to when I first got here and everything, you know, all the problems that were going on and stuff, and we went through it and everything. But this is right now, this is something that we shouldn't be having right now, you know. My opinion on it, you know, we give them, you know, 3%, and that's across the board. Everybody gets 3%. When you can't afford to give more than that, and we as a city, and we as a whole, we know, you know, what we can give and everything. We don't want to get the city in the hole right now, okay? We want to stay even like we is right now and stuff, and we just need y'all to, I don't know, work with us, cool down with it, you know. It ain't, to me, when you get out here and get fussing, you know, your word don't get through. Really, all of this arguing and fussing, your word don't get through. The best thing for us to do right now is take a step back, you know, and realize what it's gonna take to keep this city as a whole. Not spread it up, not divide, nothing like that, but as a whole and stuff. And we need to continue trying to work together as a whole instead of just spreading up and stuff. Me personally, I mean, I like all the guys, you know, I talk to them and all and everything, I like all of them. We just come to a point that whatever the city can afford right now, that's what we're going to do. Thank you.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming, and I know this is a situation that everybody got their own personal opinion, and like Dr. Nichols said, and Mr. Davis said, that people that he represents, a lot of them not here. So we want to represent all the people, not just some of the people. But, you know, we talk about raises, every year costs go up. And every year we're getting 3% raise. So we continue to just chip into what we have, and after a while, we got to start making some difficult decisions to make some things go up in order to get the revenue coming back in. So, I mean, I understand, I like to listen to what people are saying, and so when you listen to people, and that's how community do. You come together, and everybody begin to voice their opinion. When they voice their opinion, then you can take what everybody said and then move forward with that. Because like people been calling and talking to us about different things going on, and they want to see some change. And there's a lot of changes that need to take place, and all of them will not take place tonight. So we're gonna go ahead and get together. We're gonna go ahead. Now we got this right here. So now we're gonna go ahead and plan the rest of the budget. And so we just gonna take time to do all this. But now on a regular time, that we can constantly have people coming in and telling us this and that, and we can work together. You know, we can sing together, but we can't talk together. So everybody tonight, some of us want to talk at the same time, but we begin just to listen to each other, and then and just try to do the right thing, and that's what we're trying to do. You know, we're trying to do the right thing. What's good for city of Graceville, not just for one area of Graceville, but the whole city. So that's what we're trying to do here tonight. So I just want to thank everybody for coming, and it's good to hear people concerned about their community. So thank you.
And it says that they want to listen to the people, but as you see, they've just closed out while the people still had stuff to say.